Okay, gentlemen, each of you have 1 minute to introduce yourselves, get an opening statement, and we will alternate back and forth between who goes first. You have 1 minute now for an opening statement and introduction. Mr. Dowd, you're first. That's your speaker right there.
Right here, right here.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is A.J. Dowd. Some of you may recognize me, may not. I've been active, as you all know, in public and party politics for almost a decade plus. It's great seeing so many old friends. I also had the pleasure and the privilege of serving with your Sheriff Skew on the Lottery Commission, and I can tell you he had to be my bodyguard because we had a room full of Democrats that wanted to spend education money, and he and I were the only two that were defending not spending wasteful dollars. So some of your education dollars here in this county and some of the buildings that were built for the schools were attributed to your sheriff and myself. So let's give the sheriff a hand because he did a great job. He really did up in Raleigh. I could go on forever and ever and tell you about some of my past accomplishments, but I want to tell you what I'm going to do in the future. I was in Elkin last night. I was in Mount Airy, and previous Wilkes meetings I've been at. Everybody says the same thing.
Tom.
See you later.
Okay, Mark, you have 1 minute.
I'm gonna talk fast, y'all listen fast. 32-year veteran law enforcement with over in Surrey County. I lived my whole life over in Surrey County. I've been a magistrate for North Carolina magistrate assigned to Surrey County for 2.5 years. In addition to that 32 years, I'm still sworn with the Surrey County Sheriff's Office. My wife Jennifer's in the back tonight, my smoking hot wife, and just want to say that I'm ready to hit the ground running with this thing, and we want to go to Raleigh. I like what Blair had to say. I think me and him's going to get along just fine. Conservative values, conservative beliefs. I've been a Christian. My mom led me to the Lord when I was 12 years old, and just want to go and do the will of the people, and just base all decisions and conversations on what is best for Wilkes County and what is best for Surrey County and what's best for our district, and make that happen.
Tom.
Thank you.
All right. Gentlemen, we'll go into the question portion now. And Mr. Barker, you will get the first shot at it. What areas of public policy are you personally passionate about?
Well, of course, I'm passionate about public safety. Like I said, I've been in it, involved in it for 32 years. So you having a safe community in this area and over in Surrey County and our district is paramount, in my opinion. Also, actually, as far as how our money is being spent down in Raleigh is a big thing to me. As far as the appropriations, when the money comes in, where's the money going? Is it going for the things that we want it to be going to? And I want to preface that with what I said a while ago. When I go into this position, I want to make sure that every decision I make, every conversation that I have in Raleigh with constituents, is that I'm putting you guys first. I'm putting our families first. I'm putting our community first, because we've got to. Wilkes County is a Tier 1 community right now. We're struggling in Wilkes County. Over 40% of Wilkes Countyans are suffering right now with as far as being able to make ends meet, and we need to concentrate on that. We need to be bringing businesses into this community, and we need to focus on job trade with our community colleges, and making sure that we are attracting businesses to come into this area. We have a great opportunity here. We've got 77 right on the outskirts of Wilkes County, and we got 421 busting right through the middle of it. This gives us the opportunity to go to different parts of our state, but it also allows what we need to look at it from the aspect of that can bring economy and that can bring jobs and businesses into this part of the area. So that's what I want to concentrate on.
Mr. Dow,
Yes, sir.
you have 2 minutes to answer the question. What areas of public policy are you personally passionate about?
Ladies and gentlemen, we all agree public safety is necessary to be a priority. We all agree that that necessary things to keep our community safe should be number one. But after 6 months of coming up here quite frequently and visiting friends, and heard it in Elkin, heard it particularly here, I am sympathetic towards you all because I understand you got a 45% property tax increase. And talking to my friends in the audience here, some of you all got as high as 95 to 100% tax increase. Ladies and gentlemen, my first priority's got to be we have to protect our pocketbooks. We have to protect your ability to survive, your ability to retire, and your ability to live. One of the first things I want to do working with Senator Settle and Representative Eddie's over there is I want to go ahead and introduce a bill that would put a cap on how much a county could raise property tax at any given time. What ends up happening is county commissioners, elected officials, sweep it under the rug because they're afraid that someone's going to come against them and say, you gave us a 2% property tax. You gave us a 5% property tax. I'd rather live with a 2% or 5% than a 50, 60, 75% property tax, which you all are experiencing, and Surrey County's next down in line to do that. So the very first thing I want to do is put a cap, make sure that the funds are coming out properly so you all don't get hit with your pocketbooks. Thank you.
So now if you want to remain, you get the first shot at the next question.
Thank you, sir.
What do you believe are the core responsibilities for someone elected to this office?
Very, very simple from day one, and I've said it. Like we mentioned earlier, when you're a police officer, like we have been, we take an oath to protect, to serve. Number one thing that I have heard that is missing in this district, heard it from the Elkin mayors, I heard it down in Mount Airy, I've heard it here in Wilkes. The number one thing is having a representative that will represent you, the people, and not be what we call a belt line politician, which means they feel their loyalty is to Raleigh, not to each one of you in this district and each one of you all as a voter.
Mr. Barker, what do you believe are the core responsibilities for someone elected to this office?
That's easy for me. It's to listen to you guys. For us to have a relationship. It's all well and good to, you know, and we've talked about this in other forums, it's all good to obtain a position. I'm not running to do this to obtain a position. I've held positions all my entire life, and that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in continuing public service, and this is a different way and a different opportunity for me to continue public service to our communities. And with doing that, it's so important that when we go to Raleigh that we have paid attention first to what the needs are of our community, and then we make that happen. You know, basically, you know, you're going down to basically grease the wheels of the state to make sure that any monies that we can get back, any tax breaks we can get back, any laws that need to be changed or reformed, anything like that is done in order to make our lives better. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about that family that is on that road 2 miles from here that is trying to figure out tonight, you know, how they're going to pay the next bill. And that's what we need to be cognizant of, and that's what I hate to use the word politician. I'm no politician. You can probably tell that. You know, I'm just a public servant. I just want to go and do the will of the people, and I want to have a relationship with you guys. And for you to be able to, I've got cards I've handed out tonight. That card has my personal telephone number on it, and I want to be able to, if you're having a problem and if you're having an issue, I want you to be able to call me as your representative and say, hey, Paul, this is what we've got going on, and I need your help. And I promise I'll be there to help you.
You want to hold your place? Okay. You're first on the third and final question. Mr. Barker, you'll be representing 2 counties. How will you ensure that each county gets fair representation?
Well, I think that's great questions, because I think that's a good one as well. You know, me and Blair was talking about this earlier. You know, what's good for Surrey County is good for Wilkes County. What's good for District 90, which is over in the Elkin part of Wilkes County, it's 25%. Blair has 75% of Wilkes County. But what's good for Wilkes is good for Surrey and the surrounding counties. And what we need to make sure of is that we capitalize on those friendships, we capitalize on those relationships between the other counties to make sure that we all are working together, like our college systems, like Surrey Community College, like Wilkes Community College, working together to increase our trade programs, so when we do have businesses that look to come into this area, that we have trade programs already in place, and we have people ready to go, ready to take these jobs. One unfortunate thing that I have seen in some recent statistics is, right now in Wilkes County, when you have a job opening, on average, you have 12 people applying for that job. We need jobs. Wilkes County needs jobs. And we don't need to settle on low-paying, minimum wage jobs. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that, guys. We can work with our community colleges. We can work with these businesses that want to come into these places and work with them to have good jobs, well-paying jobs in this area. 77-421, remember I talked to you about that. And also just keep in mind, we're all in it together. And when Surrey County flourishes, Wilkes County can flourish. And that's all about the relationships that we have with each other. Thank you.
Mr. Dow,
Yes, sir.
you will be representing 2 counties. How will you ensure that each county gets fair representation?
Very good question. I want to say first off, those that have known me involved in the party knows that I used to work for the party and part of leadership as much as a county as small as Allegheny or as large as Wilkes. So basically that's been the one thing that I've heard consistently in this race, has been that you all as Wilkes County residents have always felt that you've always played second fiddle, or you played second to Surrey County because the representative before us was from Surrey, and to quote somebody who told it to me, she didn't even know Wilkes existed. I've tried to make it a point to be more out here, to be more visible, to make more contacts with your elected officials. One of the things that I am doing is I am not taking a salary as your state representative. I am going to take those funds and use that to open a district office and create a local office here. Why should you or any of you all's causes have to go to Raleigh to plead your case, to see about putting a bill through, or as I studied underneath the great Howard Coble, constituent services? So I'm taking my salary, going to go ahead and create a local office, and I'm going to hire an additional legislative aide. That is how you get to the people. No promises. If you want to talk about jobs, I could talk about jobs, but I think the number one thing is Wilkes County's voice needs to be heard in Raleigh.
Mr. Barker, you have 1 minute closing statement.
You know, guys, in the end, it's all about relationships. And it's all about, at the end of the day, we need to send people down to Raleigh, and we need to put people in positions here locally that have the same values, the same beliefs, and the same concerns that we do. And we need to put people in that we know or we have good faith in to look at their past history, look at the things that they've accomplished and done down through the years. And you know, a lot of times you can tell, how a person is going to act in the future about how they've acted in the past. I encourage you, in the upcoming days before you go vote, call around, talk to people, come to talk to me. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, my phone number's on there. I'm going to work for you. I'm going to work for you. You can call me anytime and talk to me, and I'll sit down, I'll meet you if you want to meet, and we'll sit down and have a conversation. It's all about us working together.
First off, I'd like to applaud the Wilkes County Party and everybody for this forum. Oh, come on, you can do that.
We're done here.
Okay, thank you.
We're done.
I'm here to represent you. All you have to do is remember, I pray for your vote, I ask for your vote, tell everyone to vote for AJ. God bless you.
Yes, sir, you have an opportunity to speak. AJ stole one.
For 30 seconds.
I love our community. Just want to do the right thing. Thank you.
All right. All right, you have 1 minute as opening statement there.
Well, first off, thank you for letting me come tonight and the GOP for hosting this. My name is Dan Kiger. I live right over the creek over here from State Road in that big community over there in that edge of Wilkes County. And I'm in Wilkes County about every day. I have a small business, but before I get into that, my wife and my daughter are back here in the room with me tonight. They're my biggest supporters, and I appreciate them coming. I was a state trooper for about 30 years. I was a sergeant with the Highway Patrol when I resigned or completed my career. I went to Wake Forest for 13 years and worked there as a supervisor for their campus police department. I have served on the board of the Elkin Rescue Squad with Rudy and the State Road Volunteer Fire Department's board. I serve on a couple of appointed committees in in Raleigh. Currently, I was on the Surrey Community College Foundation board. I've always been a public servant. I've always been a hardworking kind of guy, and I like to continue to work for you all. I grew up on a tobacco farm. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, we'll go to the first question.
Yeah.
What areas of public policy are you personally passionate about?
Well, there's several different things that I'm passionate about. I think that small businesses, we should not be a hindrance to them. I think we should be an aid to them. We should cut red tape and allow small businesses to flourish. They create jobs. They carry on families. They create the culture of the communities. I think small business is very important, but also education. I think we should support our teachers. We should have safe schools. I don't think we should ever have to worry about sending our kids to school and them not coming home. I think we ought to have resource officers in every school from elementary up. I think that we should build career-oriented jobs where our children don't have to leave our communities and they can stay here in our communities, and we can create jobs that will create good pay and benefits for them. We have an airport out here that we've improved. We have 421, we have water, we have sewer, we have a good workforce, and I don't know why we can't bring more work here. I sometimes think maybe the economic development people don't do as much as they should, and I would hold their feet to the fire and talk to them regularly. I would work with the commissioners and the city councilmen and mayors to see that we could do that.
Okay. All right, question number 2. Mr. Kiger, what do you believe are the core responsibilities for someone elected to this office?
Well, the first thing is, I say this all the time, I want to be your representative. And that's so true, and I mean that tremendously. I want to be your representative. I want to represent the morals and the values and the faith of Wilkes County. If I'm in a tobacco county, I'm representing tobacco. If I'm up here, I'm representing what you need. Somebody asked the other day, said, what do you think about legalizing marijuana? And I said, well, what do you think about it? I'm representing you, and that's what I'm going to represent when I go to Raleigh. So I will always have you in the forefront. I will do everything I can to benefit Wilkes County and Surrey County to make it flourish. And I will always be available, transparent, as someone said. You will see our votes, you will know I'm there, and when I'm not there, I'll be here in the community. I have a small business, I'm in every community and every high school in this county, most every day, and I know most of you, and I know where Long Bottom Road is in Trap Hill, and Summers Road is, so I'm not some foreigner from the other side of the county over there or something. I'm basically Wilkes County. So I would look after you, and that would be my main objective.
All right. Mr. Kiger, you will be representing 2 counties. How will you ensure that each county gets fair representation?
Well, number one, I live right in the middle. So I can go this way, and I can go that way. And as I say, I'm in every community every day. I'm in Pilot Mountain. I talk to farmers, I talk to parents, I talk to homeschool parents. I'm all over the county. But matter of fact, this car that broke down is going to Northwest Automotive tonight. So I trade here, I know you, and I can represent you.
Good, thank you. All right, you have 1 minute as a closing statement.
Okay, like I said, I'm going to be your representative. I think on our campaign Facebook pages, my number is the only one that's up. I will be available. You will have my number. I know Shirley has it in her phone, and Nada and several of you already have it in your phone. And you can call me at any time. I will be available. When I'm home on the weekends, I will be available. So I have your interest in mind in doing everything that I can do to make Wilkes County flourish and Surrey County flourish.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me speak.